There are two kinds of gamers in the world. Actually, I'm just making this up, but there are two kinds of gamers in the world. Those that listen to footsteps and those that listen to music. Which one are you? Before we get into this discussion, I hope you'll click that subscribe button. It'll really help out the channel, and I will be eternally grateful. Also, after the video's over, I hope you'll stick around and let us know in the comment section, what kind of gamer are you? Let's make this an actual discussion and chat it up down below. Alright, so what am I talking about? Footsteps or music? Well, let me elaborate on both. Let's start with the footsteps camp. These are the people who probably have their 7.1 surround sound headphones on, and they want to hear every single sound and detail of the game. They want to hear the footsteps of their enemies as they walk close to them in the game. And this comes from like really competitive gamers playing, Call of Duty or shooters. They want to hear when enemies are near and where they're coming from so they can play their best. But it doesn't just have to be footsteps, and it doesn't have to be necessarily for a competitive reason. Of course, sound design plays a very crucial role in game design for so many reasons. You'll have, audible cues telling you where to go and what to do, and yes, when enemies are near, or when something's happening in the game that you need to draw your attention to. And let's not forget the beautiful, epic, original scores and soundtracks that many games have. People in this camp want the full experience of the game. They understand that the visuals, the graphics, and the feel of the game, the gameplay, those are only pieces of the puzzle. Sound plays a huge part, and these players want to experience it to the fullest. Now there's the other camp, which is the music camp. They listen to music, and what I'm talking about is putting on your own music apart from the game. And I know a lot of people do this. Even you see it on Twitch. You'll be watching Twitch streamers and they're just bumping their music in the background, which actually surprises me, because I feel like if you're gonna be on Twitch showing people how good you are, you really want to be in the moment. But hey, maybe it's like homework. It's like some people study with music because it helps them concentrate. Some people study without music because it's a distraction. Maybe it's an individual kind of thing. For me though, I have been a part of both camps, and I think it depends a lot on the game I'm playing. If it's something where it has really great music, or if it has a lot of dialogue that I want to hear and pay attention to, or if the sound is just really important to the game. Definitely when I'm reviewing games for this channel, I want the full unadulterated experience. I'm not going to be listening to anything else. I'm going to be listening to the game sound, and I want to really soak in everything that I'm experiencing to report back to you for the sake of the videos. But otherwise, if I'm just kicking back, to be honest, and if it's a casual game or something where I don't have to pay too much attention to the sound and the music isn't really doing it for me that much, then yeah, you know what, sometimes there's nothing better than to just kick back, and whether it's playing some team deathmatch on Call of Duty, or if it's going through a hack and slash RPG campaign, there's nothing better to pass the time than just to put on some of my favorite music. And it's funny because I think back of when I was younger and I was playing like on the original Xbox or PS2, and during that time I was listening to a lot of my favorite CDs, and I would listen to like a handful of CDs over and over again as I'm playing these games. And to this day, if I hear one of those songs, or if I even think about one of those songs, it brings images to my head of the games I was playing at the time. I know I'm not alone in this either. I've talked to my buddy Steve about this before. He can relate. He's telling me like, oh yeah, this song used to always be on the radio when I was playing RuneScape. This song reminds me of playing RuneScape back in the day. And I totally have those songs and those memories too. A lot of fond memories. Yeah, from back in the Xbox days playing Morrowind while listening to some of my favorite CDs, or even, just a few years back playing some Black Ops 3 and listening to my iTunes library and downloading mixtapes out of DatPiff and checking out all these different artists and just listening to some of my favorite artists and catching up on albums. Today we have Spotify, which is great. I can catch up on some of my favorite artists. The time passes so quickly, and it's just so relaxing, and it heightens the experience in a lot of ways. So definitely for me, it depends on the situation, it depends on the mood, it depends on the game and the type of game I'm playing, and whether I'm reviewing it or if I'm just kicking back and wasting time just to relax. Definitely if it's a game I've played before versus something I haven't experienced before. So you don't want to miss out on anything, and I don't want to discredit all of the hard work that goes into the sound design in these games. At the same time, I'm reminded of when the original Xbox came out with that hard drive, and it allowed us to import songs from our CDs onto the hard drive. We could make custom playlists, and a lot of games were actually letting us integrate those custom soundtracks into the game as a feature, so you could replace the soundtracks and the background music from the games with your own music. And I spent so much time ripping my favorite CDs, ripping my favorite songs from my CDs, creating playlists for different games and different types of games. I had so much fun with that. I thought it was so cool. And even I remember some of the 2K games, the 2K sports games, would actually go so far as to let you trim your songs and take pieces of the songs, decide which events would trigger those song clips. So for example, you're playing football, somebody gets sacked and you hear a particular song clip, somebody scores a touchdown, you hear a particular song clip, incomplete or intercepted, all these different scenarios. You could choose a particular part of a particular song to play at that moment. It was so cool. I spent so much time just trying to make the perfect kind of sound bites for those instances, and it was just so cool. So a lot of developers at the time were really accommodating this and promoting this as just a cool feature within their games. So I definitely have a lot of fond memories of just, simpler times when I didn't have a lot to worry about and I could spend all day listening to great music and playing great games. And to me, both the music and the games just kind of heighten each other. When it's music that you love and a game you love, it's just like, it's like you're in heaven and you forget about everything else. However, I'm not going to say I'm in either one of those camps all the time. I think it's 50-50, depending on the situation, depending on the game. So I'm just curious about, which camp are you in? Are you like me? Are you a little bit of both? Do you have two monitors? Do you grind away on your RPG on one screen and watch YouTube videos on the other screen? Well, what do you do? What are your thoughts on the matter? Let's make an actual discussion about this. I want to hear from you. So let me know your thoughts below. Which camp are you in? What do you like to do? You have fond memories or songs or games that remind you of each other? Are you a purist who only listens to the in-game sounds? Tell me all about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And again, I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.